Hi, Ashik. All right, there's another one. Hi, Ren. Oh, hi, honey. Jibin. So I'm seeing, okay, a lot of people have started coming in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Pitch. We're waiting for our very, very special guest today, and this guy is legendary. So, first of all, hi, I'm Khuri Irani. You all are watching Off the Pitch. And hello to everyone on Manchbara account. Hello to everyone in the Hero Indian Super League, Indian football all over. Today, I have an absolute legend joining me here on the show Off the Pitch. So, my God, what do I say about this guy? First of all, I'll start off with saying 14 matches for Kerala Blasters. He scored an all-important goal as well. But 7 Premier League titles, that's 5 medals, 2 Champions League. How many players can say this in the world right now? 2 Champions Leagues. Wow, what a catch he was. When he came down here for the Hero ISL, it was like, wow, we have this guy here. 2 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, 1 Club World Cup. My God. So let's quickly try and get him live if you guys are all sending in your requests. Okay. He hasn't sent in a request yet. So my special guest, I need you to send me a request so I can accept your request and then you can come live on the show. Let's see. And second now. Waiting. I hope this connects really quick. He's a pro, so it won't take long. He's just one attempt and we got this.
There we go.
It's Wes Brown. Hello, Wes. Welcome to Off the Pitch.
Hi, Khuri, okay?
I'm all right. Thank you. How's everything there at home?
Yeah, good. Like everywhere else, I suppose. It's a bit quiet. Obviously, staying at home. Not really allowed out to do much, so
Yeah.
we've had to take up some other hobbies around the house and do stuff. But we've been good. The kids are good. They've still got schoolwork. We've been doing a lot of exercising. So yeah, how are you? How's everybody there?
I'm good. Very, very hungry for football, just like everyone else that's watching right now and listening to us right now. There's just no entertainment for us, nothing going on in the world of sports, especially in football. So we miss all of that, but we're making the most of what we have, spending time with family, being safe, staying home, which is very important. So, Wes, let's start off with you giving a big shout out to all the fans who are watching, especially if you can say the shout out in a local dialect, nothing like it. But if not, just a big hello from you.
No, just a big hello. I hope everybody's good. I miss you all. Hopefully back to Kerala very soon and India in general, but we don't know when that's going to be. I just want everyone to stay safe and make sure you keep your precautions about where you go and watch out for each other. Big family, so be careful and keep an eye on each other, really.
Oh, thanks, Wes. Of course, that is the all-important message that we're giving out right now. So there's tons of fans that have joined us. They're all watching live, and they're going to be starting to send their questions anytime soon. Yeah. But before that, I have a set of questions because this is Off the Pitch with Khuri, so I get to go first. So I'll quickly get through the basics that I'm sure everyone wants to know about, and then the fans' questions I'll try and filter because they can get very tricky. Trust me. But then you can defend well. Someone just said, knees up, Wes Brown. All right. So, Wes, first of all, just talk us through you coming down to India. What led to it? And then while you were in India, just you do the talking.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Blackburn at the time. So I finished from Sunderland. I went to Blackburn. I was sort of a player coach in the sense that I helped the reserves a little bit with Damien Johnson, who I played against. Yeah. I didn't play that many times for the first team at the time. I was sort of trying to make up my mind what I wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, once I finished at Blackburn, wasn't sure what was happening, whether I would have went into coaching a little bit more. But I got a call off Rene Mullenstein, my old coach. Told me about the league, told me about the club, and asked me would I like to come and join really, and it'll be a great experience. And you know what? I didn't really think twice about it. I just he was like, listen, Berber's coming, Paul, Richubka's coming. We obviously Hume was there, so I already knew these sort of people, and I just thought, listen, I love football. I just want to carry on, and then I started looking at the YouTube pages, and it was unbelievable what I witnessed. The fans, how crazy it was. So It was a no-brainer. Yeah, it was crazy. So it was a definite yes straight away for me. It didn't take me long to make up my mind. Once I got there, I mean, wow, the reception we got straight away is fantastic. Love all the people, love them to bits.
Yeah.
I'm loving and welcoming. So, you know, had a really good time. Injured for the first 4 games, which was a bit frustrating, but once we got going, I absolutely found it fantastic. So happy I went. And you know, I wouldn't change a thing again if I had the choice again.
Wow. Okay. So you said you'd watched YouTube videos and everything and the welcome that you got, but tell me about the match atmosphere. It's unparalleled in Kochi.
Yeah, it's different. It's different from in England. I mean, for one, you've got the DJ. That is crazy. I love that. So it is. So it's a little bit like the cricket, I suppose. But they've got the DJ. So straight away, you can feel it. You're up for the game. It doesn't take you long to get into the game. But that's the fans, you know, it does, especially our fans, away games, you know, unbelievable. You get 300 or 400 at the away games sometimes, and that's fantastic from, you know, the distances they have to travel to get there as well. I mean, we absolutely loved it, and I'm sure the players there now will always love the fans, and you've got to give them massive respect because it's a tough task to do. You know, tough.
And what about everything else apart from the football while you were here in India? There were travels. It involved a lot of trying out some local cuisines while you were here. And then your family had come down to visit as well. You guys went around. How did you find the food and the culture? And a very colorful, wasn't it, in Kochi?
Yeah, they loved it. My kids loved it. My missus loved it. I mean, I was there for probably 7-8 months and they came twice. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, different culture. They love the food. You know, my kids are happy. They were happy with the swimming pool. You know what they're like in the hotel. But my missus loved it. I mean, she did some of her own stuff as well when she was there, for some women's rights stuff and stuff like that. So it was a good experience for us all as a family, and I'm glad we did it. I mean, the kids still have some clothes and stuff that they bought and they put on every now and then. Obviously, they met you as well. Khuri,
yeah, we got to spend an entire day. We went around the city, and I remember I was talking to Aaron Hughes in the last episode, and he said it was so fascinating watching those elephants on the street. And we were in the same car driving around when your kids were like, "Oh my God, there are elephants on the street!"
Yeah, I mean they've never witnessed anything like that, so they thought it was fantastic. You know, so
yeah.
Because otherwise, they wouldn't necessarily go. You know, with the school, so it's just good that they took that up.
I'm so glad they got to come here and, you know, try out our food and see the culture and everything. Anirban Singh Roy has been very loud in his comments, and he's written, "Who's the toughest man in all?" He goes, "People have been sending me your chants all day." You know, just so I'm not obviously going to say them out loud. Maybe we'll ask you to say it at some point. But Wes, one of the other questions that came in was, if not a footballer, then what would you have been?
Oh, what a question. Well, to be fair, do you know, when I was younger, I used to go do karate. It was called Shotokan. So I was very good at karate, and I missed out. I think I was only 10 years old, and I missed out on my black belt twice. And that's when I started football.
Okay.
At school, our major sport was basketball, funnily enough. We became English schools basketball champions. We loved basketball. We probably played basketball more than football at the time, even though we were very good at football. Yeah. I mean, we used to get to school straight inside. I mean, you might not know this, but Manchester's very rainy. So sometimes football outside, as you get into school, it's not the best thing to be playing outside. So we used to play basketball and got very, very good at it. Went on to win a national school championship. So I still watch basketball to this day. I love it. I'm just watching that Michael Jordan, actually, that's on Netflix at the moment. Last Dance, which is really good. Very
the
interesting.
Last Dance.
Yeah,
that's
very good.
Good you recommended it, because I've been actually...
Goody, yeah. I mean,
sorry, you got
I still speak to Goody as well. I still speak to Goody as well. But yeah, the last dance is fantastic. But we used to play basketball, badminton, I know there's some very great players in India as well at badminton, but I was just a sporty sort of person when I was younger. So
Yeah.
it wasn't until I probably got to 13 that when I got signed for Man United, and then it went very quick from there. But I like to play any sport possible, really.
Did you kind of indulge in any other sports while you were here in India with any of the other players? Like just on an off day or something? Okay, let's go. Maybe play some golf or something?
Not really. I mean, I didn't go golf once. I know it was a golf course just near the airport, I think. There wasn't really much time to do anything else, if I'm being honest, because we trained twice a day. We trained early in the morning, and then we did sort of like a warm down or some weights in the afternoon. So you didn't really have that much time. But so, yeah, I mean, I would have loved to play cricket a little bit more. I had a little bit of a go at it. I thought I was pretty decent, but believe me, I'm not.
Okay, maybe the next time you come to India, we'll set up a kind of match and we'll find out your cricketing talent as well.
I mean, that would be great, yeah. That would be good.
So, which brings me to the next question, because, okay, I'm keeping all my questions aside. It's not fair. I have limited time with you, and there's so many questions the fans asking. One of the very common ones that have been coming over and over is, when do we see you again in India? Any plans of coming down in the future, maybe as a coach?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you never know. I mean, at the moment, I do coaching for kids in Manchester. I do quite a lot of that, but normally I just still work for Manchester United, the club, and I actually do get to go around the world and see different things. I have come back to India a few times, just not to Kerala. So that's mostly what I do. Obviously, we don't know what's happening at the moment with the flights and, you know, going into countries, so that's a little bit of a nightmare, but it'll be fantastic, obviously, to come back and see all the fans again, have a big reunion. That would be something nice to do.
All right. There are a lot of Manchester United related questions that are coming in. But before that, just give us a background on, oh my God, the time that you spent there at Manchester. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you know what, Khuri? I signed for Manchester United when I was 14. I was there when I was 13, but I signed when I was 14. And then I actually went to a football school where the English FA would pick 16 kids that they thought were going to be very good. So you have trials and lots of trials. And then I actually got picked to go to this boarding football school called Lilleshall. And that got me into great stead, really. I mean, it was basically, I was 14. We didn't start YTS until you were 16. And that's obviously going into the club daily. But it was the same sort of routine. It got you mentally prepared and physically prepared for this routine. I mean, in my year, there was a few players that we might know. There was myself, Michael Owen, Michael Ball, John Harley. There was lots of good players. But yeah, once I got to the club, I had a great time. We had Eric Harrison, who I know if a lot of the fans know about the '92 class of '92 with Bex and Giggsy and, you know, the Neville brothers, Butt Scholes. Then you'll understand who Eric was, and he was a guy that you looked up to, and he was sort of your father figure, sort of teacher, and just below the manager. And you know, obviously, watching these guys go through like Bex and Scholesy, the Nevs, I always knew I had a chance to get in. The manager always, you know, let me do what I needed to do. He gave me so much praise, and then when he thought I was ready, he threw me in. I probably didn't think I was ready. But he did. He threw me up when I was 18, and yeah, it was crazy from there. Really, my first season, as a lot of fans will know, we won the treble. I mean, that was my actual first season. So when that happens, Khuri, it's hard to get back to that same buzz. It's very hard, and I'm not going to lie, I've won so many trophies over the years, and it doesn't quite get to that point. But I'm so glad I experienced it. You know, so many fantastic teammates over the years, coming and go. I've probably been in 3 of the managers' teams. You know, like he likes to change teams. You probably change, adding players, getting rid of some good players as well that you think, wow, you know, he's got rid of some. Like when he got rid of Bex, for instance, you're thinking, oh my God, wow. But Ronaldo comes in. he knew exactly what he was doing. But some fantastic times, and obviously I still speak to a lot of the players now. And we just get on great. It's a shame we probably don't get to see each other as often as we would like. But, you know, fantastic memories all along. And like I said, still working for the club now is like it's like my family. So just like Kerala Blasters are, you know, it's like it is a family club, and that's all that you can ask for.
Wow. Thanks, Wes. One of the things you said right now is, as a young 18-year-old, you were thrown into the deep end. You didn't think you were ready. The manager thought you were. So I'm asking this because a lot of fans have been asking as well about the young Indian boys, especially some young local Indian boys that are playing for Kerala Blasters. Sahal Abdul Samad being one of those boys that is now, you know, he's become a household name in Indian football. But what would you tell a Sahal Abdul Samad, for example? What would you tell one of these young Indian boys who, there is pressure when you play in Kerala. You know that. It's back to the hilt. They're loud. And, you know, they don't hold back. So what would you tell one of these youngsters how to handle that pressure at such a raw age?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a good question because, you know, if you let it all get to you, it can really put a lot of pressure on you. But first of all, I think they always have to remember that they're always learning. They can always get better. You know, look up to some of the senior pros that are working hard, still to this day working week out, just to physically get better, and even things they've learned try and bring into the game. And when I was younger, to be fair, I got away with it because I didn't think about it too much. I didn't understand the pressure or if we lost the game, I didn't let it get to me too much. I just thought, right, okay, we'll just. That can happen. That's football. We'll sort it out the next game. You know, I had a very strong mentality, like the rest of the team did, just like the manager did. So I would. The older players would always keep my feet on the ground. Too big for my boots. They'll bring me back down to earth. I think that's always needed sometimes. But Salah, you know, when I was there, he was a fantastic young little player, and you could see he was going to mature into better things. And again, he'll always keep improving. Pressure can get to you. Go and speak to your manager. Maybe time like for a little bit. It does help to do all these little things, but most importantly, just focus on just getting better and working hard every day.
National team as well, playing for the country, even being selected. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So they're. Already we've spoken about Sahal Abdul Samad and your message to the young boys, but are you in touch with any of the boys that you played alongside with here in Kerala? Any of the Indian lads?
Mostly, well, I speak to Sandesh sometimes. I spoke to Milan, Karan. I speak to. I do gym with Karan on a regular basis. Actually, he's got a Zoom account, and he does lots of gym stuff from his home. Obviously, everyone's in at the moment. I might actually join with him tonight, actually, at 6 o'clock in English time. But I still speak to Humi, obviously still Chubbs Berber. I've not spoke to the manager for a while. I've spoke to Rene, but I've not spoke to JMO for a while. But yeah, I mean, I still wish all the lads all the best. Every time I do look, I always see what they're doing. I've got their Instagram account, so I have a look where they've gone. Obviously, a lot of players have moved on. So I have a look where they've gone and what they're getting up to, and just like a few of the stuff every now and again, just to show them that I'm still watching them. So yeah.
What would after you've been here and you've played for Kerala Blasters, you've seen the system that we have, the Hero Indian Super League, and what it's doing for Indian football. It's helping it grow. But a lot of people are asking about what, if you were to come down here as a coach or a manager, what would you want to change so they can develop better and faster? What changes would you bring about, probably?
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems to me like the managers, it's seasonal. You know, there's managers that will change, a lot of clubs that will change. And sometimes I think if you've got an ambition and you're trying to set it out, it is hard. If you know you've only got that one season, it's a very short space of time to maybe try and get people doing what you want to do. If you can stay longer, it's perfect. But I think the Indian lads.
Sorry, but Wes, I'm going to interrupt you here because a lot of times people have said if something's not working, you fix it. So they're saying if the manager is not working, does it make sense to fix it halfway through a season? Or, okay, you write this season off and then hopefully, give him more time? What
I
would you
wish
suggest?
I had the answer, because when I was at Sunderland, we had 8 managers in 5 years. And while I was there, we was always fighting over a little bit of relegation, and they kept changing the manager. But by doing that, we did stay up. So I can't actually give you the answer for that.
Yeah.
I do think once the team's playing well, and you might be losing a few games, but if the team's playing well and you can see potential, at some point you probably do have to keep the manager on, because you just can't keep changing. But like I said, at Manchester United we had Sir Alex. We wouldn't need to change anyone. At Sunderland we had very good managers, but it's something needed changing every now and again, and that actually worked for the club at the time, even though I think for the long term it's not sustainable.
But in your time here with Kerala Blasters, you came in, you said it was renamed. Obviously, yours and Burba's connection was renamed, but you came down halfway through the season, a change of guard, and then David James coming in. For a player to adapt to, obviously, there's different strategies altogether, and their philosophies are different altogether. So, as a player, what would you tell the fans or the other players to then support the next manager that comes in? How do you deal with that, the changes in philosophies?
Well, I think you've got to support it. You've got to support it. At the end of the day, it happens, and like I said, I've had lots of managers over the years, and sometimes there's managers that you even like, and they get fired or sacked, and you're wondering what's going on. Is the next manager going to like me? But at the same time, you've got to get behind the manager.
There's a knocking sound coming from your end. I think it's tapping on the mic or something. There's a constant knocking sound. Sorry, Wes.
Even now?
No, now it's fine. It's fine. So go on. You were saying?
Yeah, no. So I think even, the players. Listen, the players are players. They have to respect whoever the manager is, regardless. And I know it can be frustrating sometimes when new managers come in. I mean, it's all different circumstances. Khuri would have liked me as a player. The new one might not like me. You've got to really show it on the foot.
Right, I got most of that. In the middle somewhere, one of our connections, and no, it's fine. We're back. One of our connections kind of slipped off over there, but can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, perfect. So since this is the fan account, this is Manjapara's account, tell me, Wes, from your perspective as a player on the pitch, how important are the fans to you as a player?
Well, I played behind closed doors once, and it was terrible. Put it like that. Ever since a kid, even if you don't actually say much to the fans, when you're on that, then you get from it the adrenaline rush, the respect. That's why, win, lose or draw, no matter what, home or away, any player should be out there celebrating with the fans afterwards. If you've lost, you've got to cheer them on. Thank you for coming, because that is half the reason you play for them as well. You play for the fans, and you want them to, want them to give just as much as you do. If we lose, we all lose together. If we win, we all win together. And that's part and parcel.
Right. Wes, a lot of people have been asking, because you're talking about the class of 92 and, your time at United. Who was your best mate? Don't sidestep this. We know all of you were great friends in the locker room, blah, blah. But who's your best friend from your time at United?
My best friend, there's 3. There's probably myself, Wayne Rooney and John O'Shea. So, I mean, me and John have pretty much been our whole careers together. From United to Sunderland. Me and Wayne, straight away, we got off like great mates. And then there's Darren Fletcher. We're all, I'm the oldest, but we're all the same sort of character, and we get on well. But like I said, in the changing room at Man United, it was like a family. It didn't matter where you came from, what team you came from, whether you grew up from the youth team. Everyone respected each other in the right way. if anything was going bad, we'd try and help each other in the right way. And if confidence was low, you know, whatever was needed, whether it was on the training ground or it was an arm around the shoulder, we would be there to help. But that's what Manchester United is like as a club as well. It's a big family.
Any locker room incident you want to share with us, whether it's your time at United or even better, if you could tell us some secret from the time at Kerala Blasters?
Yeah.
Just something that the fans would love to hear about, something that happened which was so unexpected.
Yeah, I was obviously a young man, I suppose, growing up at the club. So there's been quite a few incidents, but there was one time where, and I'm sure they do it around the world, if someone came in with a really jazzy shirt, a bit funky, bright one. I mean, we would start off by hanging it up around different club, and then eventually, don't do this at home, kids, but eventually we'd probably burn it. It'll be in the bin, burn outside.
Would you tell us who was wearing it? Who walked in wearing that shirt?
Oh, I can't remember, but then I do remember that, and then I remember one day I had a really bad pair of trainers, and I thought they were cool. And I've walked in and they're getting burnt in the bin on the outside where you change the boots. So I wasn't happy, by the way, at the time. I wasn't. But it's just a little bit of banter that keeps us going. But we had some great times.
And what about when you were here in Kerala? Any untoward incidents that we would now want to know about later? It's been years. If you can tell us.
No, not really. I mean, obviously, we were the new boys in the changing room. So nothing. I mean, I probably did a few things to Chubbs, which is Paul Hudker, a few times. But other than that, not much really. I don't think anyone would have done it to myself. They probably would have been a bit scared, even though I would have thought it was funny. Obviously coming from the Premier League, but I mean, lads, we had a great bunch of lads.
Well, okay. So while you were at Kerala, you scored one goal. Do you know the date you scored the goal? You have to know.
I don't know the date.
Of course you know the date.
I don't know the date.
Yes, you do, because post-match, when you won the Hero of the Match award, and I interviewed you and I said it's such a special day to get your goal for Kerala. Come on.
You have to help. Yeah.
I'm scared I'll put you in more trouble than I already am.
No, not at all.
Because I'll give you a bigger hint, but after that hint, if you still don't give me the answer, then you're on your own. Be fair? I've cleared this. You're okay with the trouble you might get into?
I don't know what it is. Sorry.
It's Leanne's birthday.
Was it Leanne's?
On her birth date. Yes. So say the date now.
Not here.
Your wife's birthday, and I said it in the interview. Oh, what a lovely day to get your first goal. Your wife's birthday.
Yeah, it was a little bit of time. It was a good year ago now. Good year, nearly 2 years actually.
Okay, but now you can tell us the date, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, but we needed to win that goal. 17th of February.
Yes, 2018. That was the one.
Yeah, we needed that game. We were we just needed to win the last few. We didn't quite get there, but it was funny. Before I moved, I was like, I need to score, because I've scored at every club I've been at, so I really need to score. So I was so happy to get one. And that game was an important one at the time, but I felt it was a shame I was a little bit older when I got there, if I'm being honest, because my knees were sore every now and again. It would take harder to recover, but in general, I had a fantastic time there, and I played midfield at times, which was good.
Do you know where this was? Where you scored the goal? Do you remember where? Because it was away from home.
Yeah, it was
the farthest travel, distance-wise. It was all the way up in Northeast, and yes, it was against Northeast United when you were there, and you scored in the 28th minute.
Tough game as well. Tough game.
It was, yeah.
It took us a while to get with the two different planes. So
yeah,
like I said, it was and we had the fans were there again. Unbelievable. So good.
They're sending in a lot of tough questions. You ready for this? You want to brace yourself? Because I tried filtering out a lot of them, but I'm still going to ask you. From your teammates at Kerala Blasters, if you had to pick one of them to play alongside you today, would you pick Humi or Berba?
Oh, I'll probably pick both. I picked both. I mean, Hume, I remember when Hume come back and, you know, he got us that hat trick. I mean, two completely different players. Berber's on the ball ability and to dictate play and do special things. But, you know, out and out striker, the way Hume worked and would get goals and harass players, you know, perfect to play with. But yeah, both top lads. I still speak to Hume as well. And he's okay. So I just remember that time when Hume come on and he scored a hat-trick. So I've got to say he was fantastic for the club. And, you know, he's actually a hero for the club. And I know the fans love him and he gives everything he's got.
All right. Someone called I am Amritesh has been so insistent. Please say a Malayalam word. Please, Wes Brown. Ma'am, please ask him. Ma'am, please. It's a word in their local language. Do you know anything?
You have to give me a sentence and I can say it.
Can you just say, hello, how are you?
I've said, hello, how are you? Are you okay? I can't say it in language.
Okay, so you can just go namaskaram. That's hello.
Naskaram.
And sugamano.
Sugamano.
Go! The fans are thrilled. Okay, so there's again a this or that. They're asking, while you were here, do you have a better time under Renee Mullenstein or David James? It's not my question.
Did they have a better
disclaimer?
time?
As with trainings and strategies and just match-wise and everything, did you think the club flourished more?
Yeah, they were both different. I mean, the training schedule was pretty much the same. The gym work was pretty much the same. You know, we still had the same people in that particular section.
Yeah.
Managing wise, yeah, they were two different players. Obviously, JMO was a little bit more direct. We knew what we had to do. You know, we was in trouble a little bit. So when he came in, we had to push a little bit more. I think what he was trying to do was, if you're looking at long term, he was trying to build a team on positions and how he wanted people to play. And sometimes it takes a while for that to get going. And you know what it's like. If you don't win straight away in the league, you know, you're already dropping down. It's not like the Premier League where you've got many games. You've got so many games to sort of get yourself in that top 4, 6, you know, just to be thereabouts. And we just wasn't quite getting there. So it was a bit unlucky on both parts, but both did very well. I mean, JMO and again, if Rene, like we talked about the managers, if they do get longer time, then you would see a difference in general. I mean, I know there's a few of the clubs that have kept the manager and you can sort of see that. But they were both very good. It's just that things didn't quite happen at the beginning.
Sure. Okay. Nakul Novi wants to know if you have to suggest one player from Man United now to join Kerala Blasters, who would you suggest?
Oh, if you got Rashford, you'd win straight away. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay. That's a nice one. Quickly moving on. Who is the toughest striker you ever faced? Mr. JJ10 wants to know the toughest striker you ever faced.
It wasn't actually a striker, but I'm going to say one player is Zinedine Zidane, who was at Real Madrid at the time. And
understandable.
I should say Ronaldo as well, and that's Ronaldo, the older Ronaldo, the R9. When he scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford, first time I've ever seen a player get applauded off the fans for scoring a hat-trick against the team, but he was...
Against them, yeah.
Everybody tells me when he was younger, he was even better. So this was when he was getting a bit older as well, and he was fantastic.
And in all your life, all your playing career, who's the best centre-back pairing you've had?
Yeah, I always say it's got to be Rio and Vida. By far. Yap Stam is also up there. Yap Stam's
wow. Yeah, sure.
And Ronnie Johnson with a very close second. Them two were brilliant in the 99 season. And sometimes I don't think Ronnie Johnson gets the credit that he deserves. But by far, Rio and Vida completely complemented each other on the pitch. And at times I would go in every now and again if one of them wasn't feeling well or they had an injury. But, you know, most of the time I was right back. But them two were fantastic.
Someone wants to know if it's more important for a team to score early or would you rather have a late goal?
Late goal all day. I've had many careers. So the late goals, the adrenaline is fantastic. And I've probably done it in the best way with the goal against Bayern Munich in the final. So I'm definitely going to say late goal, even though the whole game you'd be panicking.
Yeah, yeah. And then you save the best for last and it finally comes. It's a whole different feeling. Yes, you're right. Okay, I already know the answer to this, but then someone's asking, so I'm doing this for the fan. So the fan wants to know, would you rather score a goal or keep a clean sheet?
Clean sheet all day. Actually, when I've scored, I don't know what to do. I don't score that often, but I would keep a clean sheet. I felt there was nothing better when we kept a clean sheet as defenders. We can't lose a game.
Yeah.
Keep a clean sheet.
But after scoring a goal, did you have like a signature celebration, or did you just do whatever came to your head in that moment?
Come up with a few different things, but when that adrenaline hits, it just goes out the window. And normally everyone jumps on you. So I'll take that. I was happy with that.
What was it like? Sorry, I was at a camp in Serbia and you were there. Some Veseli Pero is talking about that.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that was a trip for Eurobank, which was with the club, one of the sponsors from the club. And I was there for 2 days, and we're out there with the coaches, and we meet the kids, and we do some other activities as well. But yeah, we met lots of kids there and helped them, and we did training sessions for the week. It was, so they would have had a good time. That's definitely correct. Yeah.
Real Ben wants me to ask you about Man United's current team's performance.
I think it's improved. Obviously, once Sir Alex went, so this was many years ago now, it's been tough for whoever's came in, very tough. But I think Ollie's coming, his signings, I'm just going off what I see on the pitch. I think his 3 signings have been excellent from the beginning. Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka, and the captain Maguire, I think they've been excellent. And then obviously Bruno coming in now. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like everything's connecting a little bit. And we've also got Pogba to come back, Rashford to come fit now, training. So I just think it's exciting. I think he was on a good run, Khuri, a very good run before everything stopped. I think they won, they hadn't lost in 11, which was very good, considering where we were. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting now to see what the manager does with the team, because everyone's fit. And I'm looking forward to it. But I think we've improved quite a lot. And the mentality of, we know where we need to be is coming back. And I think that's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone wants, hold on, I'm trying to get the names here because there's so many messages. Jenosk 25 wants to know, what was your favorite dish in Kerala? What was the favorite thing you loved to eat here?
Well, do you know what? I started to have dal with everything. Say hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Say a big hello to everyone in India. Say hi, Manjapada.
Yeah, she's been
good. Big shout out.
Very good.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we miss her. I hope she had a great time while she was here.
Well, she loves the naan bread. She loves garlic naan bread, don't you? So when she was in India, she loved it. So we do quite and we do quite a bit of chicken curries as well. It was funny, I have dal as well now. I never really had dal at all, but I have it quite a lot now. Yeah, it's weird, because the lads used to eat it all the time. And I know it's simple, but it's very nice.
When you first came in, I'm sure it took a little acclimatizing, along with obviously the temperatures and the humidity and the food and everything. But overall, if you had, like someone's asking this question, if you had to recommend one of your, Man United teammates or someone from there now who talks to you, hey Wes, you were in India, you played in the Hero ISL, what would you want to tell me from your experience? What would you tell another player who wants to come to India and play in the ISL?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd tell them to come to the Blasters, 100%. But I would say, honestly, it was a fantastic experience. I mean, for one, the weather was unbelievable, I thought. And I know everyone thinks it was too hot, and it was, but I still loved it because I just wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the team, the lads they're all fantastic. Listen, they've all been trying to be really good footballers in India, and even just to help them out was good, and tried to, share a few stories that I had, my ups and downs. I mean, I've had a lot of injuries as well. I'm just trying to help in any way, but you can see everyone's trying to improve and get better. Not just the teams, but the whole ISL as a federation, really. And you know, the more the foreign lads do come in and help, I do think it does help a little bit, step by step, small steps, but gradually getting there. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm right here. Your video is a little hazy. I can hear you now. Your audio is clear. Your video was a little hazy, so we're just gonna wait a couple of seconds till that clears. Okay, it's clear. In the meantime, a lot of people kept asking, just name your favorite football player ever.
Oh, it's simple, very simple. It was a kid. He's not a kid, he's older than me, but a kid at the time. I used to watch him play myself, and I had the pleasure to actually play with him as well. And funnily enough, I actually left Man United, and he was still playing there. And his name's Ryan Giggs. He's my favourite player ever. I wanted to play left wing as a kid. I used to watch him on the telly as I'm trying to improve. You know, I always wanted to be Ryan Giggs. So to be able to play with him, win many trophies with him, the way he kept himself physically. I love to bits, yeah.
A lot of people are also asking about, where do you see Indian football going? The scope of Indian football, the future of Indian football. A lot of people have been asking this repetitively over and over again.
Yeah, I think it can only get better. I mean, I know the national team's doing a lot better now. So they have to keep that going there, and I know they want to improve on that. And I'm pretty sure you've got into the top, was it 100 at one point? I'm not sure you're there now, but you know, keep on improving there. And the way the players are all improving as well as a unit helps. But it takes a while. You just can't snap your fingers. Khuri.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Like I said, the league isn't as long as most leagues, so maybe that might help. I don't know how you would fit that in. I know.
Yeah.
Cricket season and everything takes priority. Maybe there's a way to do both, maybe somehow. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I've met a lot of players who have played in India who are on the national team, and they would love to play more games as well. You know, just to get that experience. The more you can play these teams, these national teams, just the more experience you get, and I think that helps.
Right. Any player from last season particularly that caught your eye from Kerala Blasters?
Yeah, it's got to be the man himself, and I didn't watch many of the games. It was hard for me to get up, but I'm going to give you his nickname, and I'm going to call him Mr. Bart because he has been unbelievable.
Bart, Bartholomew Betty, of course, the highest goal scorer for Kerala Blasters.
Yeah, every time I looked on whether it was on Instagram or anything, he was just putting the goals in the back of the net. So that was fantastic, and I know the fans love him for it. Brilliant.
And he's amazing. He also did a bit of punditry towards the end of the season, and he's just such an amazing person. You're right. Sayu J. Sam is asking he's the last one to ask this question, which a lot of people before him have already asked. Just the experience of playing against Liverpool as a Man United player.
That's my favourite game. As a Manchester kid, it becomes a normal to put that at the top of the rivalry. To be fair, obviously, when I was growing up, especially when I was very young, Liverpool were dominating English football. So, and we lived so close to each other. It's like 30 miles. It's not far at all. But yeah, obviously, growing up, as I started becoming a teenager, we started to take control. So obviously, being able to play in a game and actually score as well. I've been sent off as well, which isn't good. But to actually score as well was like a dream come true in a way, because the rivalry is so deep, and it still is to this day.
All right. The most important thing you would tell a defender?
Always watch the ball. Don't dive in. Don't dive in is very important. There's only one ball.
Stay on your feet.
Yeah, there's only one ball. So you've got to even anticipating play. I mean, I learned that Laurent Blanc was probably the best person I learned that off at Man United. The way he anticipated the play, he would see a move just before it happened. And you learn these things as you get older. You know, not to fight the strong players. Be a bit more clever and get round them. Sometimes you have to be a little bit more physical when you're defending and get a little bit tighter. If there's a tricky player, you don't want him to turn. Just little things you can always think of that help against different players.
All right. Amal PS03 wants to know your favorite goal that you have ever seen, but he adds, while playing alongside those players.
Yeah, well, I was actually, when Wayne Rooney scored that overhead kick, I was actually in the stand, so I can't. But I would say Wayne Rooney against Newcastle, I don't know if you remember this, but he was arguing with the referee. And about 4 seconds after, you're just like, wow, he's volleyed it.
Oh, yeah.
And the funniest thing about that, I scored in that game, but no one remembers that. And the Ronaldo free kick against David James, my former manager, when he was at Portsmouth. And it was a bit like Rashford's latest one at Chelsea. But that free kick was unbelievable. So they're probably two that
All right. Karthik BG. I don't know why this question even comes. I think I know the answer already, but he wants me to ask you if you choose John Terry or Rio Ferdinand as your partner.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with both, but I'm always going to choose Rio. I played with Rio. I know what he can do. He's so calm. By far the best English player I've seen defensively. John Terry's probably a slight just behind, but Rio, he had everything. Very tough player to get past the tall. He had the height, the speed, very calm on the ball. And John Terry was a fantastic captain for Chelsea as well. I'm sure if you ask a Chelsea fan, he'd put it the other way around. But yeah, Rio just nicks it for me.
Okay. All right, Wes, I'll let you go in 5 more minutes. I'm just letting all the fans know, send in your questions because I'm going to hold on to him for just 5 more minutes. I told him it's going to be a short session. Guys, you've been sending a lot of tough questions. I'm sorry I can't ask all of them. I've tried to filter out and be nice. It's Wes's first time on this show. So let's be kind. Maybe on the next one, we'll put you a little bit off the spot. Okay. But they want to know if you, as the manager of Kerala Blasters, any Indian player you'd immediately want to sign.
Well, do you know what? I'd always phone. I'd go. There could be a few different ones. But because of what I've seen and what I know as a young player that he was, I would try and get Salah straight away. Sahal. I would try and get him over, try and work on him and see what he was like in the game. You can see what talent he's got. And sometimes I've seen players come from other clubs and you might think, okay, he's an okay player, but then you put him in at the big stage and he absolutely performed. It's like he was meant to be there. And sometimes players need tested like that. And I'm sure that's what I would like to see, if it would be, whether he would be tested and whether he could handle it or not.
All right. Moving on swiftly, because I have very little time left. No, guys, I'm not asking any of these. I'm being nice to him. Wes, any regrets in your career? If you had to choose, like, I wish I would have done this, I would have signed here, or anything you, in hindsight, regretted?
Not at all. Not even my injuries, except for one. There was one when I did a very silly tackle when the ball was out of play, and me and this other player didn't really like each other. And we both tackled each other off the pitch. The ball had already gone out of play, and I broke my ankle. And I knew I shouldn't have done it at the time, but I did it. But that's the only thing. But it was just adrenaline. But other than that, I wouldn't change a thing.
Perfect. John_Tommy wants to know who's the best centre-back in the world right now, according to you.
Oh, best centre-back in the world. That's a good one. I'm going to stick with the old foe and still say Ramos. I like Ramos. I mean, even to this day, he's still playing at the highest he can play. Yes, as you get older, you do get a bit slower, but in general, he has been fantastic for so many years. And I would, just because Real Madrid have maybe let in a few goals this season, I'm still going to stick by him. I think the partnership, to be fair. Okay,
another question that's coming again. As manager, would you choose young blood or experienced players?
See, that's a tough one. You can only have so many young players in there. That's the honest truth. Even a class of two, the manager would probably play 2 or 3 of them at the time with the older senior players. Yes, they all did play at some point together, but you do need some senior players just to keep them, down, keep them edge. It can be done, but it would be difficult. I mean, Chelsea are doing a very good season at it this year, if I'm being honest. With all the young players that they've got through, so it can be done. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be winning championships straight away.
True. All right. This has come in so often, but I wanted to save this as the last question and the last thing I ask you, because of course this is Manjupada's account and they're legendary fans for Kerala Blasters. Everyone wants to know, what would you say about Manjupada, and then what would you say to Manjupada? First, what would you say about them, and then what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me come on your account. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you. You agreed. No, you don't have to thank. Go on.
I know how the fans are at the club, and like I've said, I've witnessed it at airports, at other grounds, and absolutely never seen anything like it in my life. And with that respect, they've got respect. They're respectful. Absolutely love them to bits. And if I ever get asked the questions, who's your best fans, I always say Kerala Blaster fans.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because some of the experience I experienced when I was there, I've never seen before.
Yes. What would you tell the fans? Because that, the sheer volume that they turn out in the stadiums and all, they deserve to win titles. They deserve to win. So, of course, the fans are very vocal in their opinions. But as a player, what would you tell the fans?
I would say it will happen. It will happen at some point. We've done it before, and it will happen again. At this time, we've got support. If football does start again, you've got support from the TVs, from home, but we can still do that. You can still do it on social media. The players will see it at some point, and it makes as a player, it gives you a big smile to know that the fans are still watching and still want you to do the best, and they're right behind you. Like we all know, the 12th man, and we always know that when we're on the pitch.
That is true. Wes, thank you so much. I took up more of your time than I thought I would, but I still haven't done 10% of the questions that have been coming in. No. But thank you so much, and big love to Leanne and the girls, and wish you all the best. Stay safe, and promise me you're going to come back off the pitch again soon.
I will do. No problem at all. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, Khuri.
Thanks, Wes. See you. Bye. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye. All right. So everyone on the Manjupada account, thank you so much for joining me again on Off the Pitch. Even throughout the week, before we get into the next episode, if there's anything else you want to see on the show, or you want this fan account to be about, please send in your messages and send in your opinions and stuff, and we'll try and work on it as much as possible. And as always, before I go, I tease the next episode. So here's a little tease. In the next episode, I'm only telling you one thing about this next guest. Next Wednesday, mostly, at 8 p.m. I will confirm that day and time later, but I will be talking to Mr. ISL himself. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This is Khuri Irani signing off from Off the Pitch. Be sure to join me next time, Mr. ISL.